When I came across this anime, I didn't think much of it, but to my surprise, I ended up liking the main character from this anime. Now, if you don't know about the anime, that's fine, because talking about Leo basically tells you about the story. So I guess that's a plus side. Now, like certain anime, this comes from both a light novel and manga, but luckily, as far as to my knowledge, Leo isn't that much different in any of the source material. With that being said, let's talk about who he is exactly. Leo is a former hero who is not only a knight, but also a mage, alchemist, and ranger too. By the way, he's a former hero because the kingdom decided they didn't need him anymore. Now, with that being the case, you can reasonably assume that he is strong in the show, and well, you'll be right. Because in the story, Leo has already defeated the Demon King by the time the story has started. The generals and the Demon King army too. Now, he didn't kill the Demon King, he just whooped their ass along with everybody else part of the demon's side. So bad to the point that they had to go into a rebuilding phase. But that's fine since the Demon King army receives someone just as strong as Leo. They received Leo, by the way, he switched sides. That's right, the former hero has not joined the enemy team. Now, if you don't know the story, this seems like an act of betrayal, but not exactly. You see, Leo has a nice and likable personality, but it wasn't always like that. You see, Leo isn't even a human. He's a bioweapon that was created by humans to help aid in the war against demons. And he had actually lived over 3,000 years, and he'll continue to live unless someone kills him, because he can't die from old age, and he can't age at all. So he's somewhat kind of semi-immortal. And yes, just from him being a bioweapon. And since Leo was a bioweapon, he couldn't technically kill himself because the program wouldn't allow him to. And this was kind of a problem for Leo because it wasn't entirely a good thing. And you see why in chapter 13, Anti-Leo, when it reveals his backstory. In this chapter, it showed that the world was heavily influenced by Leo, and since he was alive during the times of conflict, he was able to bring peace, long-lasting peace that is. But for Leo, that wasn't exactly a good thing. Remember, Leo is a humanoid weapon whose purpose is to bring peace. By the way, there were others like Leo, but technically, so far as we know, Leo's the last one. Anyway, though, since he brought peace to the world, he starts to think there really wasn't a reason for him to exist anymore. And this kind of drove him crazy at times. Especially since there was a voice telling him in his head to constantly save the world, even though the world did not need saving. Plus, even if the problem did arrive, he was too strong for it to be an actual threat, handling the job rather quickly anytime one showed up. But after 3 years, he was finally able to come up with a solution to this problem, that being making a bioweapon that can threaten the world. Not just one, a whole team of them. So when they threaten the world, he could fight them off. Right before he started this plan though, well before he launched it into action, the Demon Queen Chansa came, so he decided not to go through with the bioweapon plan. Now he understand that what he was doing was kinda evil, but it did work out. Because it went from Leo wanting to end his life from the constant voice telling him to save a peaceful world, to him finding ways to turn it off and join the demon army, and basically becoming good friends with Enchanta and the generals. Now that's basically it for his character, and if you're interested in his powers, that's fairly simple to understand too. He is a master swordsman who uses black, spirit, sacred, and basically most forms of magic. Plus, he obviously has his concept, hyper self development. Now, all bioweapons had a concept, or something that made them, special for being a bioweapon. And Leo concept was hyper self development, and probably the best concept that was shown as far as we know. This concept allows him to replicate the full range of abilities that he engaged with, allowing him to infinitely develop himself. And obviously, this is kind of broken since it can make you extremely resistant to things and copy most things, if not all. Meaning, like say for example, unless you kill him with an attack outright, the next time you attack him with the same thing, it's most likely going to do less damage than it did the first time. The only person who could actually contest with Leo power, or as far as the I done seen, was Virgo, another bioweapon and Leo's brother who has the concept of hyper regeneration. And I'm assuming all the bioweapons gonna contest with him because they're bioweapons. Now, obviously, this isn't everything or every last detail about Leo Demonhart, but it's quite a lot. If you made this far, how do you feel about Leo or unquitting hero in general? Because I'm hoping for another season because I really like the show. But besides that, that's basically it.